Hello and welcome to another episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. I'm LJ Minidef, Hollywood 6. How are you doing?
I am good, JJ. It is glad to be back with my fellow trash talker. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine myself. And today, I figured, we talked about cultural differences between the US and Europe a lot. But the fact of the matter is, it's kind of hard to come up with those differences on the spot. And so I found a Reddit post where that's pretty much the topic. Well, it's Americans of Reddit, what is something you didn't realize was typically American until you went abroad? And let's face it, most Americans going abroad will go to Europe. But even if not, this feels relevant. And so I'm going to read out some of the answers and we're going to discuss them. You are American, I am German, so we're going to have some different perspectives on this. Hopefully.
Before you read the first one, if I had to say one thing that Americans do that we only think that we do is like hamburgers. Like for some reason, Americans just think hamburgers okay, maybe not, because there's some places you can go where they don't eat hamburgers. They don't even eat beef. You know what? Forget I just said that. I don't know where I was going there, dude.
I mean, hamburgers also strike me as fairly international. Like, hot dogs would probably be more of like a typically American food.
Yeah. Well, that's actually more German, like the Frankfurts or the...
Yes, the actual hot dog sausages also very much exist in Germany, but I feel like actual hot dogs, like a bun with like a sausage in it, is occasionally sold in Germany, but it's not nearly as prevalent as in America, for example. And I think that's generally, America is probably the country where hot dogs are the most prevalent in the world, I would think.
I don't know if you've ever seen how a hot dog is made, but if you have, you'll question eating a hot dog again. I'll just say that.
So I've heard. Honestly, this is one of those pieces of information that I've never gone out of my way to procure in any more detail than is necessary, because I figure, some things you just don't need to know, right? Even as someone who likes knowledge, it's like, yeah,
Do you know what Americans call hot dogs here? I'll give you that little tidbit. Do you know what we call hot dogs?
I can't think of another name right offhand, no.
In today's day and age, we call hot dogs glizzy.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just what they decided to call them, I guess. They call them glizzies. I
had not heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first answer, I don't know what is the default sorting in here? Best, okay, fair enough. The top answer is someone saying, when I moved to the UK, my flatmates asked how in movies people would stick their hands in the sink drain and it being ripped apart. I told them about garbage disposals and they were weirded out. Garbage disposals in sinks. I think we talked about that before, but I've never seen one in person.
Good. Wait, y'all don't have garbage disposals?
No.
Why?
I mean, how do they actually function? Like, where does the garbage go, by the way? Is that just like, does it just collect in a bin under the sink, or does it go outside, or how does that work?
So every American household has a garbage disposal, and it's literally, you're washing your dishes. Let's say you have some leftover spaghetti and it got caught in the drain and then it went down into your sink. So there's a light switch that you turn on your light switch and it activates the garbage disposal. And what it does is it cleans, it chops up the excess food, and there's like underneath, it's like I guess you would call it a container or something that's actually connected to the sink, where all the food that you use through the garbage disposal, you actually clean it out and throw it away and put it back on there. But that's weird. I thought that was, and I've actually traveled abroad, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think you're right, dude. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else.
So our kitchen sink has like a little thing on it so that nothing particularly big can go down the drain, and then you can if there's crumbs or something that collects in there, you can just lift it out and then just empty it into a trash bin or something, which I feel like serves the same purpose.
Yeah, well, here we have the same thing. It's like a little metal thing that you put on the thing, and you can just pull it up and dump it out in the trash can, what have you. But that's interesting. I guess some people are just God, dude, I feel like a lot of what we're going to talk about is just going to make Americans look lazy. I feel like it's just going to make us look lazy because it's like, why not just rake the plate into the trash can? You know, just rake it into the trash can instead of raking it into the sink. And yes, you could pull it out and throw it away, but there's so much more excess things that just go, oh, I'll just turn on the God dang it.
Garbage disposal?
I'm not listening. Garbage disposal, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you actually like have something that's like still on the plate in like any appreciable amount, yeah, you would just put it in the trash, right?
Right.
But also, I guess, I don't know, do you guys still regularly hand wash dishes anyways? I mean, obviously if there's like anything left on the plate, you can't just put it in the dishwasher, so you do have to like get like the chunks of the plate, like if there's actually spaghetti left on it or something. But
I mean, so you guys have dishwashers over there, right?
Yeah,
obviously.
Of course.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, I feel like if you're hand washing them, it's like, okay, you're already at the sink, right? You're scraping it off, you're washing it, okay, maybe. But
yeah,
if you're already putting it in the dishwasher anyways, like, whether you actually like scrape it off, like, in the sink or in a garbage can, like, doesn't really make a difference. I don't know.
It doesn't. That's actually a good point that you brought up. But here's something interesting that I'm very picky about. There's two things that I'm weird about. Whenever I have guests over, I always hide my toothbrush for obvious reasons. For some reason, I don't know why this is in my head, but I feel like, you know, the person's going to take the toothbrush and rub it up against the toilet or something. But I do that. But also, I do have a dishwasher, but I never use it. And it's because growing up as a kid, we never had one. You know, we weren't, we I don't want to say we were poor, but we weren't, you know, we couldn't afford a dishwasher. So me personally, till this day, which I have a dishwasher, but it's something with me with cleaning dishes with your hand. That way you can physically see, okay, I washed this, and, you know, instead of using a machine where, the water pressure might not be good enough and you got lasagna left over. Now you got to wash it again when you could have just did it the first time by hand. You'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, in theory, obviously, dishwashers are supposed to get all your dishes clean now. Usually that works. And also, dishwashers are actually more efficient. Both, I mean, in terms of actual, like, work input, because obviously you just put it in. But also in terms of water, right? Like, a dishwasher actually uses less water than hand washing your dishes.
Really?
Yes.
No. That can't be true. Depending on how you wash your dishes, because when we wash dishes here, we put the stopper into the sink, you know?
Yeah.
Put the stopper, and then you put your soap around it, and then you run your hot water, and then you probably get your sink about this full with water, and then you use that same water, and then just rinse it, put it up. That can't be true. That can't be true.
Presumably, if you actually, like, put in the dishes for one meal and try to run the dishwasher every time, sure. But if you actually, like, you know, let it fill up over a day or two, then, I mean, depending on how many people you have in your household, then yeah, no, that is definitely, like, if you actually, like, properly fill up a dishwasher, it does use less water than hand washing it. Or so I've been told. Now, well,
dang it. You got me wanting to Google that. Yeah, I kind of want to Google that. Hey, I want to Google that. Let's see. That's actually a good question. If it is, that'd be very surprising. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that from reliable sources. I couldn't tell you where exactly, but this is one of those that I'm fairly certain is true. But again, right, obviously there are different ways of washing your dishes by hand.
So I Googled, do dishwashers use less water than hand washing? It says a modern dishwasher uses about 3 to 4 gallons of water. Wow. Compared to up to 27 gallons when washing the same amount of dishes by hand. Says Jeremy Thompson of Youthful Home, a cleaner service specialist. Older dishwasher models may use as much as 15 gallons of water, but that's still less than hand washing. Wow. Shout out to you for knowing that. Dude, you're like Smokey, dude. Y'all just know some of this. Like, where did you find that? Where the hell did you find that information?
I'm pretty sure it's one of those that I just heard somewhere. And it came from, like, a credible enough source that I was like, okay, this sounds like it is actually true. Or maybe I heard it somewhere in passing and I looked it up if it was true, like you just did. And then once I knew it, I was like, this seems like an important fact, right? Like this might... Well, I mean, I feel like it might come up occasionally, right? When someone is like, hey, isn't hand washing, like, actually better? And it's like, Well, actually, it turns out it isn't. So yeah.
Now you got me thinking about other household. Like, does a dishwasher use less? Does a shower use less water than a dishwasher, or more water? Or now I'm thinking like, well, hell, does a toilet use more water than a dishwasher? I'm curious to know what household appliance
I mean,
uses the most and the less water.
I mean, those are probably a lot harder to compare. I mean, you'd have to probably compare those like over a longer time frame. But then also it depends on like how many people use it, and also you can't substitute one for the other usually. So it's not as useful in practical terms to compare.
Yes, of course. I get you. What else we got on this list here?
Free refills on soft drinks and ice. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by that, right? And I think it's in diners you also get free refills on coffee. I understand.
Yeah. Wait, you guys not get free refills?
No.
Not even at like if you're obviously y'all don't have a Waffle House, but yeah, like when you go have like breakfast at a diner, they don't come refill your coffee.
I'm not sure if we have American style diners to begin with, but I mean, yeah, no restaurants, right? Like fast food chains, like none of those, right? You order a drink, you get your drink, and if you want another drink, you buy another drink.
Wait, so do y'all not have like because here they just give you a cup. They just give you a cup and then you go to the fountain and there's like 9 different drinks you can pick from and you say, okay, I want this much ice and I want a Pepsi, or I want this much ice and I want a Mountain Dew. And you drink that, and when you're done, go get you some more. And a lot of people, what they'll do is like, I don't drink soda, so it's hard for me to speak on this, but there are a lot of people that say drinking like Coca-Cola out of a can, drinking Coca-Cola out of the glass bottle or 2-liter bottle, and then out of the fountain. They apparently people who drink Coca-Cola like that, they're all 4 of those taste different. But from every person I've heard that from America, they say the best Coca-Cola or the best fountain drinks come when you go. Damn, but I don't. Do y'all have those though? The things where you just push your cup up.
I believe they have them in fast food restaurants sometimes, but they usually have them like right next to where you order, so that like the employees still have an eye on it, so that they can see that no one just like grabs free refill. In restaurants, you usually just get your drinks brought to your table in like a glass, you know.
Yeah.
Or some bottles in small glass bottles, but also.
So let me ask you this: let's say, hey JJ, I'm coming to Germany, and I want to get some good food, and I want to go to a pretty nice restaurant. Where's a restaurant you would take? Just name. Where's somewhere you would take?
Dude, I probably just first of all, a good restaurant. I wouldn't like even know if you want like fine dining, but. Probably just like a local restaurant. We don't really do chains that much here for like especially better stuff. So
okay, so I go to this restaurant and they say, hey, what would you like to drink? I'll take a Mountain Dew. I'll take a Mountain Dew. Okay, cool. Once my Mountain Dew's gone, does my server not come back and say, hey, would you like a refill? Do they not say that there?
I mean, they might ask, do you want another one? But that'll then cost you again, right? So
really?
So yeah, if you order yourself a Coke, I'm not sure about Mountain Dew. That seems like I don't know if that's
okay. I mean, what?
Yeah, if you order yourself a Coke, right, and you finish your Coke, and they come over, they see that you have an empty Coke, they might be like, hey, do you want another one? But then at the end of the day, on the bill, it'll say like 2 Cokes. Yeah.
Really? So the word that would lead me to believe that the word refill isn't used quite often over there then. I
mean, again, right, the wording will probably, I mean, different language, of course, but the wording will be more in the sense of, like, do you want another one, right? Rather than, like, do you want that refilled?
That is crazy, dude. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting because, damn it, you're right. I remember when I was in Sweden, we went to this little place, and I want to say it was actually water. Do they give free refills on water?
No. Well, okay, so I believe you can order tap water, which I think is free, but also, like, generally speaking, when you order water in a restaurant, they'll bring you bottled water. So, and that then again, right, like, you pay, well, per glass or per bottle. I think water is the most likely drink probably to come in a bottle, but it'll be like those, like, 0.3 liter bottles, right? Yeah. So it's basically just a glass worth anyways. I don't know why they bring out the bottle. And then, they'll bring out the bottle
That's-
and an empty glass, and it's like, okay, I pour it in the glass, the bottle's empty. It's like, why didn't you just bring me a glass? But I guess so that you see that it's not tap water? I don't know. I mean, it's usually sparkling
that
too,
is so
right?
crazy.
Because Germans, at the very least, tend to drink sparkling water, not,
Bro,
so.
what's crazy is I was not a fan of sparkling water until I had COVID. Once I got COVID, I love sparkling. I love sparkling water.
Honestly, I've never been that big on it. I usually drink my water uncarbonated, and lately I've actually switched to tap water anyways, because it's also like,
Oh,
okay, listen, right? Europe in general, fairly good tap water. Germany, one of the better European countries for that, and the area that I live in is actually one of the best, right? Our tap water is pristine. Also, like, very little, what is it? What is it like?
fluoride,
Carbonate or something?
fluoride.
No.
They put fluoride in your tap water. I know this 100% for a fact.
I'm not sure if they do that here, but no, I'm thinking of I don't know what the English word I've had, but the white stuff that sometimes, like, if the water evaporates, like, stays behind, like it's like calcium carbonate or something.
Dude. Listen, I used to work at a place and where we would go to, like, put belts on at water facility treatment plants. And I promise you, if you went to your local water facility treatment plant, you will never drink tap water again. I promise you. And I'm almost positive that you have to put fluoride in tap water. It's for your pipes, so your pipes don't rust. Like, if you're going to drink tap water, you got to have some sort of fluoride in it, or I'm pretty sure it's fluoride to keep your pipes from not rusting and you drinking rusty water, which in turn eventually causes cancer and other health effects.
Do y'all have iron pipes?
Yes, but nigga, what kind of pipes you got?
Copper!
What the hell? That's expensive. That's too expensive. We have either steel, aluminum, or PVC pipes. You will find some copper every now and then, but not at your water facility treatment plants.
I don't know at the plants, but definitely, like, in houses, I'm pretty sure it's all copper. I mean, they used to use lead, but obviously that not good. So
that's terrible. Do you have Google at your disposal right now? At your luxury right now?
Yes, of course.
Please do this for me. Google, does Germany put fluoride in tap water? I'm almost positive.
The fluoride in tap water. Water fluoridation by country, okay? Of course there's a water fluoridation by country Wikipedia article. Let me full screen that. Let me go over here. Would you look at that? Percentage of population receiving fluoridated water, including both artificial and naturally fluoridation, as of 2012. The United States is in the 60 to 80% category, and Germany is in the less than 1% category. Wouldn't you know it?
Wow, that is bananas. Even Alaska, which is, if you ask me, it's in fucking...
It's on a country level, Alaska is part of the U.S.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even Alaska, that's a part... I can understand the continental 48 states, which I can't understand it. I mean, a lot of people think that's why a lot of Americans don't drink tap water, because in the famous, you probably won't get this joke, but Alex Jones says they're turning the frogs gay. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that? Okay. The reason that is because of the fluoride that they're putting in the water, and everyone thought he was lying. Turns out he was 100% factual. But it's crazy to see that this map that you pulled up, on the 48 continental states, fluoride is put in damn near every state. But now if you go up to Canada, and yes, of course, Alaska is one of America, one of the states, but it's not a continental state. So you would think that, damn, maybe that's got me looking like there's some kind of conspiracy going on, dude.
I mean, again,
what do you think? What do you think that's about?
I don't think that Alaska has separate data here. I'm pretty sure that it's the same color as the rest of the US, because it's one data point for all of the US.
I mean, why do you think that America is fluoriding their water more than any other place on planet Earth? Looks like Australia has a lot too.
Well, I mean, I think the most is please don't ask me to name this country, but this,
I
Southwest
think it
African
starts
country,
with an N. I think it starts with an N. What's it called?
Namibia.
How do you say it? No, I think it's Nig something.
Dude,
Go ahead.
Niger and Nigeria are like around here. Like,
I was trying to get you to. I was trying to get you to go somewhere else, but never mind. Go ahead.
The Sahel is much more northern.
Yeah.
Water fluoridation is the controlled addition of fluoride to a public water supply to reduce tooth decay, and is handled differently by country.
Dude, I know so many people in America that have meth mouths where they're missing. Look at mine. But I don't drink tap water, dude. I do not drink tap water. Hell no. Not if you've seen what I've seen. Hell no. That's. What are you looking up?
I was trying to see if because they had it broken up by country. One of them said the percentage in Africa, but it mentions Egypt, Libya, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. But none of those were in the 80 to 100% category, so that's not it.
But to prevent tooth decay, then why just brush your damn teeth? Why are we putting that in?
I'm assuming that the American government thinks they can't trust their people to brush their teeth. I don't know.
Nah, bro. There's a bigger conspiracy. They're turning the frogs gay. That's what's happening. They're desensitizing us. I wanted to ask you a question. I'm a big MMA fan. I've heard a stat that so when I'm watching MMA, I'll the commercials come on. I think you guys call them advertising, but a commercial will come on, right? Yeah. And every other commercial is, hey, do you have eczema? Well, go ask your doctor if this cream will work for you. Or, hey, do you? And dude, it's always the happiest commercials. They're like running through the mall and they feel great because they got this new pill that takes away hives. And I found out, first of all, it's like a fidget spinner. Perfectly fine to advertise on TV. Okay. A cell phone. Perfectly fine to advertise on TV. Drugs, though, possible side effects might include suicidal thoughts, things like that, and it's like, dude, I looked it up and I'm like, I can't believe that they are advertising drugs. Go ask your doctor if this is right for you. But I found out, and I want to hear from you. But I looked it up, and there's only 2 places on planet Earth that's where that's legal to advertise drugs, and it's New Zealand and America. Do you guys have those kind of commercials?
Well, so in Germany, you can not advertise prescription drugs. So they will still, do aspirin and stuff like that. You do still occasionally get some but only non-prescription drugs you get commercials for that you can just, buy over the counter in a pharmacy. So,
over the counter, fair enough.
But besides that, no prescription drugs. And in Germany, every single drug commercial for the couple of drugs that they can advertise, at the end, instead of having the actual laundry list of side effects that the American ones has, it's just for risks and side effects, ask your doctor or a pharmacist. And that's just the disclaimer. At the end of every single one of those, it's always the same disclaimer. It's always the same white text on a gray background. But yeah, no, again, right? It's only fairly harmless stuff, just stuff that you can get without a prescription.
Yeah, but that, to me, dude, that blows my mind that literally every other commercial, when I say every other commercial, it was all a drug. Dude, they are advertising drugs, and it's so crazy to me.
Dude, NFL games, right? It's all some sort of drug, a beer, or the new Ford F-150.
That's it. A Ford, a beer, or a goddamn Tylenol pill, damn it. That's it.
Or,
Go America.
Every now and again, it's also those class action lawsuit things where it's have you taken a plane in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
You might be entitled. Yeah.
To this lump sum of money. So I guess when you watch football, American football, you're extreme. But you're getting those same commercials, right?
I have seen those commercials.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't mean to snitch on you there. I don't know if he does that. I don't know if he illegally streams anything. I just put that on.
let's quickly go to like through one or two more of these items, just so it feels like we actually did the topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
Okay, red Solo cups. Most people outside of the US use them as accessories to American theme parties. Yeah, that definitely is true.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, I feel like specifically like those red plastic cups, like they're very specifically American in like most people's minds outside of the US, I think.
Oh yeah, dude, you know how many games of beer pong I've won with red Solo cups? There's a song called Red Solo Cup in America.
I feel like some parties do have disposable cups, but it depends on the kind of party as well. I feel like for smaller gatherings, people just oftentimes also just bring out glasses, you know. But if you have like large amounts of people and like, you know, like a lot of alcohol involved, then obviously it does make sense to go for disposable cups. I feel like you often see white or clear ones, but I
wonder if that has something to do with like a recycling issue, that it's not more prevalent around the world. Like maybe we have a better recycling, you know, a better way of recycling. So it's like, hey, get that. It's not a real party unless you got a red Solo cup, you know? I mean, it's just like a staple here in the US. Maybe you guys don't have, I don't know. That's a good one there. I don't know, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
But it's everywhere. I've got some downstairs right now.
I'm pretty sure most of your plastic gets shipped to the Philippines where they just dump it in the ocean. Because
dump it in the ocean, yeah.
Because you aren't allowed to dump it in the ocean in the US, but you are allowed to ship it off to another country for processing, and then that country will then just dump it in the ocean. I'm pretty sure you don't actually recycle. I think it was like 98% of plastics don't get recycled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, but I don't think plastic cups are like entirely unheard of, but it's like very specifically like the red Solo cups are like very typically American for some reason.
Unless you're a Crip. If you're a Crip in America, you will never be seen with a red Solo cup. You will only get a blue one.
Okay.
And you'll never... that's a fact. That is a fact, dude. If you're a Crip, they don't do red Solo cup. They do blue Solo cup. Weird. Welcome to America, JJ. Dude, you come over here, I'm going to show you the greatest time of your freaking life, dude.
Okay, next comment says, I doubt this is restricted to American anyway, but when I studied abroad in the UK, the lack of public drinking laws was a bit of a culture shock. Being able to walk outside with a bottle of beer was very freeing.
In America?
In the UK.
I was about to say, in America, hell no, you can't do that. That's public intoxication. So there's a liquor store on every corner. When you buy an alcoholic beverage, or if you go to a gas station, you buy an alcohol, like a beer, just a nice sized beer. Legally they have to put it in a brown paper bag. So if you're outside and you want to drink it, you have to have that paper bag over it. You can't have a Coors Light just sitting there. You can't do that, but you guys can do that, huh?
Yeah, I always love the brown paper bag thing because, like, everyone knows what you're doing. You're not fooling anyone. How is this the difference? I was like, no one cares.
That's a good question.
Right? Like, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, okay, Germany, obviously, but like in general, like outside of the US, I think there are very few places. I mean, obviously, if you go to like the Middle East or like North Africa, like sometimes drink is just sort of outlawed. But for the most part, like in Europe, I don't think I've ever heard of like those sort of laws. I mean, public intoxication, like maybe like public nuisance laws do exist to some degree, but it's more like if you actually make a nuisance of yourself, not just for happening to be drunk in public or happening to hold an alcoholic beverage in public.
Well, also, I don't think your authorities over there are too. I don't think y'all are your cops are over there are too. Like I think our cops here are a little bit more gung ho. If that makes sense.
Yes.
To where they're like. Yeah, it's like to where they need to enforce, this particular law. It's like, so where you're at, if I leave a bar and I am just stumbling and there's a cop right there, am I going to go to jail?
I mean, not unless you're starting to open your car.
Yeah, well, okay, but if I'm just walking, I'm like, oh, dude, am I going to jail?
No.
Wow. I mean, that is crazy.
Like, if you start, like, shouting into people's faces or stuff, like, maybe, but, like, now for just being drunk.
Yeah. I mean, but the public intoxication thing, and we have something called a drunk tank here. I don't know if you guys have a drunk tank. But they'll literally check your blood and alcohol level, and they'll put you in a drunk tank. And once they think you're sober enough, then they'll release you. On top of you paying $1,000.
Yeah, no, I never quite got, like, I mean, I guess if you consider the history of the US, then it does make a little bit more sense with, like, going from prohibition to, like, oh yeah, 21 years is, like, the drinking age, and you can't publicly drink. Like, I can kind of see, like, historically how that developed, but it's kind of wild to me, like, the American attitude towards alcohol.
Well, what legal drinking age over there? Is it 21 as well?
Well, it's 16 for beer and 18 for liquor.
You can get beer at 16?
Dude, it's Germany. Like, we invented beer.
I know. God dang it. No, I don't think y'all invented beer. Yeah, damn it. I don't know the stop. No, you guys might be right there. But, dude, imagine Hollywood 6. The rebel, the popular kid, the music maker in school that knows all the people. Imagine me at, what's that, 10th grade? 10th grade being able to buy beer. Oh, dude, that's a disaster waiting to happen. 16, and it's
okay. Yeah, beer basically already was drunk by the ancient Egyptians, but like Germany's definitely the country that's like most well known, I think, for its beer. Yeah, no, 16 is I don't know what the exact legal definition is. I want to say it's based on the volume percentage of the alcohol. But it's broadly speaking, it ends up being, you know, beer at 16 and most everything else at 18.
I know you're not a big drinker, but how old were you when you physically bought your first drink? How old were you?
Bought? Probably like 18 or 19.
Do you have to show your ID?
I mean, yeah, if they suspected you might be too young. I mean, if you're like clearly 50, they're not going to check your ID, but
yeah, but if you're 15, that's like 15. God dang, it's like, man, I don't know. That's crazy to me. A 16. So obviously, so wait a minute. If someone goes to buy an alcoholic drink and they're 16, and they obviously look 16, they don't get carded.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're like look below 20, they'll probably card you just to be safe, right? But like, if you're like very clearly like, you know, 30, 40, right? Like, there's probably going to be a point where you don't get carded anymore. I'm not sure if I've ever technically. No, and then there was at least one occasion where I was trying to think back because I haven't bought that much alcohol like myself. Usually when I drink alcohol, it's like either like at parties or like with people, right? So I usually don't like buy alcohol that much.
Yeah.
But you know, there was definitely at least one time when I did buy alcohol. I was like 19 or 18, and I'm pretty sure I also was carded there because, like, of course.
Yeah.
Also, it was rum, so that was definitely.
You had to be over 18. Was this for like a party or just like you just wanted a drink?
I think we were hanging out with a couple of people. I don't remember how it came up, but I'm pretty sure I was the only one drinking there as well. But like, yeah, no, I bought the rum, I drank a little bit of it, and then I took the rest home.
Interesting, dude. That's a crazy one. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, here's one that we definitely still have to talk about though. What is it with taxes not being included in prices in the US? What's with that?
Dude, that is a great question. Like if it says $4.99, I should be able to pay $4.99 and not get to the register and it be $5.64. Like, what the hell, dude? And now that I'm down with you on that one, but you guys don't have that there, huh?
Okay, so I think I've heard the difference. One of the differences apparently is that we don't have a sales tax, but we have VAT, which I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But yeah, anyways, value added tax. The point being, when it says $4.99 on the price tag, then that means it costs $4.99 including taxes. And
but is that how it is in Germany?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So then, if you buy it for like a corporate expense or something, then obviously you can get the VAT reimbursed later on, blah blah blah. But like, generally speaking, most stores virtually all stores will show the prices with VAT included. The one exception I can think of is there's this one like bigger store that primarily caters towards business clients. And so if you buy for a business, you can get the VAT reimbursed. So they will then list the prices without, because you're effectively not paying it, even if in the moment you are. But like, so that I guess you get a better idea what the final price effectively for you is. But virtually, and that's a membership store. So, but like supermarkets or like any like grocery store, like that sort of thing, like clothing stores, right? Like, I don't know, like restaurants, right? Like, no matter where you go, like if it says a price, that's usually the price you'll pay. I can't think of any.
Easy.
I mean, if there is any additions, it's definitely not because of tax.
Let me ask you this: do you guys every year we have to pay taxes here? Do you guys pay taxes? Like you got state and federal taxes, right?
I mean, yeah, but we definitely do pay. I believe it's also income tax. I believe.
Well, so then, yeah. Okay, so basically, if from what it sounds like, from what you're telling me, and I could be completely wrong, but it sounds like they don't put the taxes on the actual thing that you're buying, but at the end of the year or the beginning of the year when you do taxes, that's when you have to pay them.
No? The tax is just included in the price, right? So if it says $4.99, then effectively 60% of that is your 19% VAT.
But what I'm saying is don't you have to turn your taxes into the government? Like, hey, this is how much money I made. This is how much money I spent. This is where I spent. You have to do that every year with it, right?
I mean, well, I think by default your taxes are deducted automatically, like your income tax, because it's just like your regular income. If you do have deductions that you can make, then you should fill out your own tax report. But that has nothing to do with the stuff you buy over the year, right? Like that is automatically at point of purchase. Like, you do still pay taxes on stuff that you buy in store.
Yeah.
It just is already included in the price.
Already included. Yeah, I get it. I'm just wondering, like, damn it, man. Stop, dude. I love my country, man. You're making it seem like I need to come over there, dude.
I mean,
damn,
I've literally read every single top-level comment in the order that they've come up. I have done no curating. If your country looks bad, that's either because Reddit came up with the worst things about your country, or because, which, I mean, to be fair, is probably to some degree true. Because if they're like, hey, what is something that shocked you when you left the US, is probably a lot of the negatives. But also probably because your country just does oftentimes not look that good in comparison.
Well, not only that, but we're also looking at the negative or the cons of America versus other places abroad. But now, I'm sure if there was a list of things that we can do in America that you can't do other places, I'm sure it's like you can't own a gun and walk down the street. You can't do that, right?
You can get gun permits. I don't know about carrying specifically. I know
here.
No problem. I have an uncle who's a policeman. He did on occasion wear his gun, but that's usually when he came off of work, which like obviously like he. Yeah. Carries professionally. I don't know for like a regular person. Most people that get gun permits also get them more for like hunting rifles, which obviously you wouldn't carry around on a daily. I don't know about handguns.
See that's one thing where I think America has it. Like here, you don't have to have a license, you don't have to have a permit. As long as you're not a convicted felon, you can buy as many guns as you want. You can have it right here on your chest, just walking. Everybody sees it. Like that's one good thing. I mean, and
that's subjective.
Yeah, well, you could argue that. Well, here's the thing, though. This is a fact that the states where you can't do that, where you can't just go in any place and buy a gun, those places have higher gun violence, higher rates of gun violence than places where you are able to buy a gun. And the reason that is, and not only gun violence, but also, like home invasions or robberies. That's because the places where you can buy a gun, everyone has a gun. So it's like, well, I'm not going to go rob that guy because 9 times out of 10, he's got a gun. I'm not going to go in that house because 9 times out of 10, he's got a gun. But in those places where you cannot have a gun, like New York or California, you go there, it's like, that's where all the gun and violence happens, is because the person's house I'm about to break in probably doesn't have a gun, which again, it's our First Amendment right. It's our First Amendment right to be able to lawfully carry a gun. I'm sorry, Second Amendment. I'm tripping. First is freedom of speech. Second Amendment right. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I personally, I'm pretty happy with the gun laws around here. We do have less gun violence overall than you guys do. Now, that's not entirely just because of access, of course, but it is obviously the problem in the US. In part, I think, is also that I don't know about that set that you said, but the fact of the matter is, obviously, if you want to get a gun in New York, you just go to Jersey to a gun show, buy a gun, and just bring it over to New York, right? Like,
but once you're in possession with it in New York, you're getting arrested. You're not allowed to have a gun in New York.
I mean, yes.
You can, but it's very hard.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, where you said, like, criminals will still get the guns, right? Because they can just get them across the state line. And it's not like someone is checking you when you come into the state, right? So
yeah, well, I'm talking legally. I'm not talking illegal. I'm talking legally being able to buy a gun in the state that you live.
But that's what I'm saying, right? The whole point about, like, you're not going to rob someone who has a gun if they is like, yes, but the robber in your scenario still has a gun, no matter which state he's in, I'm assuming. So that is where the fact that you have states where it's harder to own a gun, right next to states where it's easy to own one, obviously without any border controls, kind of creates a bit of a more problematic situation than if you were in, like, a country that has controlled borders where there are no guns allowed, because then no one's bringing guns in either.
I get it. It's a yin and yang thing, man. I totally get it.
I mean, here's one that I actually, when I saw this post, I wanted to talk to you about. Grocery store clerks. Is it true that in America they always stand up?
Absolutely.
Like, what the fuck? You have your 8-hour shift in the grocery store, you're standing the whole day?
I mean, of course, no. Well, you also got 30-minute breaks, and if you're like an elderly person, or someone who has bad knees, of course you can sit on like a stool or something. But yes, 98% of the people at your grocery store clerk or at your grocery stores are standing up. Because
the commenter here mentions that in Ireland they don't, and in my experience in Germany they don't either. Right? Like, they usually just sit down. They usually have seats right at the line, right? Because why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it makes sense, but again, I think it's just the American thing. It's just like, oh, while you're at work, you need to be standing up. Why are you sitting down?
Yeah, right.
You need to be standing up if you're going to work.
And it's your employer that cares. The customers don't give a shit.
No,
I mean,
they don't.
In America, you'll probably get the occasional Karen who would be like, "Why are you sitting down when you're doing?" But, like,
yeah, you're 100%, dude. But not only that, I want to ask you, before we get off this topic here. So you go into a grocery store and you grab this thing and you push this thing and you put things inside of this thing, items inside of these things. What is that thing called that you're pushing?
I mean, I would have said a shopping cart, but obviously that depends entirely on. Obviously, in German we would call it Einkaufswagen, which is literally like Einkauf would be a purchase, I guess. Wagen would be like a wagon, so it would be a purchase wagon, literally translated. But yeah, no, it's a shopping cart. I don't know.
A shopping cart. That term is not used in the South. It's not called a shopping cart. It's called a buggy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Also, what I've heard is apparently in American shopping carts will oftentimes have two fixed wheels, so that only the front wheels, I believe, are spinning.
Yes, that's true for the majority. There's a lot of weird things that, like, we call them buggies, y'all call them shopping carts. Like, we call them sneakers or shoes. You guys call them. Well, I don't know about in Germany, but I know in the UK they don't call them sneakers. They call them trainers.
Yeah.
It's not a trainer. It's sneakers. Or like what's another one? There's one more where it's like, like the bin. We don't call it just toss it in the bin. Oh, just toss it in the trash can. I don't know. It's the beauty about culture. It's the beauty about being from where you're from.
Yeah, no, I just shopping is one of those things that always stands out to me because I've learned about the shopping cart thing. I was like, why the fuck would you, every single shopping cart that I've ever seen had 4 wheels that could freely turn, which makes it so they can maneuver the cart in any direction very easily. And I was like, why would you have to fix? I mean, it's probably one of those things where, like, every turning joint costs like 5 cents, so they save some money or something. But
I'll save it. It could be some monetary thing there, but I mean, when you have a buggy and you're just driving down, I mean, you don't really need the back tube.
You can still steer, but when all 4 wheels turn, you can, like, literally just move it sideways.
Yeah, slide it but you can't do that here. No, you have to literally like pick it up and then move it. That's a good. I never noticed that. That's actually a good observation. Whoever, shout out to that Reddit user because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no, I think it was a YouTube video that I saw, but like I just remember that when we talked about groceries, about the supermarkets and grocery stores, whatever. The other two things that I always think of when it comes to that is, first of all, the bagging thing, right? Because I think my understanding is that you get your groceries bagged in the United States in like a supermarket.
Yes, and the grocery store clerks bag it for you, and you get to choose paper or plastic.
I mean, you can buy bags in German grocery stores as well, although usually you'd have to ask because most people don't get one. And right. They do also have, I mean, I don't know if they have plastic still because we're phasing out plastic in a lot of places, but yeah, no, you don't get a bag, you just like shove it into your cart, and most people will just like have a crate or something in their trunk, and just like shove it in there from the cart.
Yeah, I know exactly, and a lot of Americans are actually starting to, it's safer for the environment. I don't want plastic. I don't want paper. They'll bring like their own bag. They'll bring their bag, just toss it in the bag because some people say it's safer, or it's healthier for the environment, I guess you would say. And I noticed that as well in Sweden. In Sweden, they didn't use, or the part of Sweden I was in, they didn't use like plastic or paper bags. It was, hey, we're going to the grocery store. Okay, grab the bags. And they had like 2 or 3 bags that was right by the door. And it actually said the store on it. And they would go put it in the trunk, get there, put it on there, and come back. And
as like the tote bag ones. I mean, we usually in my household we usually use like the sort of like plastic crates, but same idea, right? But the idea is that
crates?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, like like little, like almost like baskets, I guess. Nope. I don't know, like, but like like very rectangular and plasticky.
Yeah, we call them crates. That's weird. Just grab a bag. It's more flexible. You can add more stuff into it. It's not hard.
I mean, I guess the exact opposite argument is like it's not flexible, right? So nothing gets squished in there, right? So if you put it in carefully, if I have some that could be squished on the outside, then it doesn't, right? So it's rigid, which is kind of
right. Okay, so like if you got a loaf of bread in there, you can be assured that it's not going. Yeah, I got you. So I get where you're going from.
We usually have like 1 or 2 of those in the trunk, and then like you empty your shopping cart into those, and then that's how we tend to do it. But again, right, like the whole bagging thing is like just doesn't exist here. Like even if you get a bag, you still bag it yourself. And also, I think some stores in America have greeters. Like I've heard like Walmart greeters being talked about.
Oh, greeters, yeah. They greet you when you walk in. Hey, welcome to Walmart, or hey, welcome to TJ Maxx. Hey, welcome to. But those people also have a job. So yes, they do greet you. But when you leave the store, they also have the same job to check your receipt. Because a lot of people could just go in and pretend like they scanned something and would just put it in there, and then they walk out with a TV even though they didn't scan it. So the people that are greeting you, they're also looking at your receipt to say, okay, you bought the TV, you bought the watermelon, you bought the eggs, you bought the chicken. So they have kind of 2 jobs. They greet you and they check your receipts when you leave.
I mean, I guess that makes a little bit of sense, but it still seems annoying if you go out of the store and then they want to check your receipt. That I don't know. Like the whole greeter thing always weirded me out.
Why?
Like, why would you have someone in your store to just say hi, right? Like that. It makes no sense.
Well, because Germans are freaking assholes, dude. Y'all don't want to just speak to your fellow person. Here, we want to say, hey, welcome in. Come on in. Nice to see you. This is the deal for the day. Y'all walk in there. Y'all just like, nope. I'm here for one reason. One reason only. Also, dude, here's a quick little story about, or background. Back before they used to check, because the checking of the receipts is actually like a new, I'd say 10, 15 year new thing. But back in the day, what we would do is we would peel off. Like I remember doing it with it was like a headset that had a microphone when I was making music back in the day, and it was in a box. And it cost, I want to say, like $49. And I didn't have $49. So what I would do is I'd go to like a peach or a pear or an apple, and I'd pull that little sticker off and I'd put it onto the thing. So when I slide it, I'm actually the computer says, "Hey, oh, he's just buying a peach." Meanwhile, actually getting. I've seen people do that with freaking PlayStation 5s, where they'll go to like a something that costs $5.99 and just peel it off and then put it on there and scan it. Oh, well, you just bought you some colored pencils when you're leaving with a PlayStation 5. I mean, it's been some things, man, that's go down. That's why the checking of the receipts is a very vital part today because of inventory laws.
I mean, I guess I was gonna say, most stores that I've been to, I'm pretty sure have cameras, but also I realized that once you're out of the store with it, it's very hard to track where the stuff went, and it's gonna be a lot harder to. I feel like it's just not as much of an issue here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, we also just don't do self-checkout that much, so it would be a lot more noticeable.
Wait, so you said you do or you don't do self-checkout?
We don't do self-checkout. It's like just now starting to be a thing in some places.
Dude, that's all I do. I mean, I love talking to people, but when I'm in a rush, like, for some reason, I don't get it. Why do you want someone to sit there and ring your stuff and then put it in the grocery bag and then here you go? It's like, hell, I'll just go do it myself and wham, bam, done. Like,
I mean, first of all, they don't bag for us, right? And second of all, they scan them real freaking fast. First of all, I probably couldn't do it that fast. Second of all, you can't pay cash in self-checkouts.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can't on any that I've seen, but maybe they...
Here you can. There's like a slot for cash. There's a slot for credit, debit. Hell, there's some with cryptocurrency.
Okay.
You can pay your groceries.
The only ones that I've seen were for like debit and maybe credit cards, but because I tend to pay everything cash, right? So it's also a very German thing.
I don't think you're looking right. I don't think you're looking all the way. They're usually right. They're usually like mid-level. Next time you go. They have to. Just look for it next time. I'm pretty sure there's. I mean, a place
also
where you can pay
the main store that like tends to be the cheapest around here, supermarket-wise, which is Aldi, also just doesn't have self-checkouts at all. At least our local one doesn't. So
wait, did you say Aldi?
Yeah, it's a German brand. You've asked about this before. Yes, we have them.
Really? Again, my memory is terrible, so I'm going to ask you probably 4 more times throughout this lifetime.
They literally originated in Germany.
That is awesome.
But I think it's time to move on to the facts of the week. What is your fact of the week?
Let's move on. Okay, here's my fact of the week. Let's pull my phone up. Man, we've been running for a minute now. Okay, let's see. So here's my fact of... Why was this pulled up on... Oh, because I Googled dishwashers. Dishwashers. Okay. All right. So my fact of the week is... Well, let me ask you this. Do you know those long white hats that have all the ripples on that chefs wear when they cook? The white hats, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I'm assuming you're going to tell me why they have as many folds as they do.
Do you know about this one already?
I certainly do.
Well, god dang it, I'm not going to tell you my fact of the week. But anyway, so the 100 folds in a chef's hat represent 100 ways to cook an egg. And I thought that was pretty dope because you think that's just some mundane object that a chef would wear, like a doctor would wear a stethoscope around there. But it's actually a reason for it. It says, yes, that tall pleated white hat that chefs wear, technically called a toque or toque, however you pronounce that, has 100 folds for a reason. According to Reluctant Gourmet, the pleats are used to signify a chef's level of experience, like the number of ways he or she knew how to prepare egg.
Yeah, I had heard them before. I thought it was a really cool fact when I first heard of it, so it's obviously very good material for Fact of the Week. Toque, you say? I believe that's what the Canadians call a beanie.
How do you say it? Toque?
Toque. I don't know. I didn't just read the same text that you did, so I'm just guessing, but toque is what Canadians call a beanie, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably conflating the two. What about you? What's your fact of the week? What you got?
My fact of the week is a bit more in the recent news category, and that is that the VFX artists of Marvel Studios unanimously voted to unionize with IATSE, it's a union. It says somewhere. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which makes them the first VFX workers or the first group specifically of VFX workers to unionize, I guess in the United States, maybe in general. When people talk about it, they sometimes miss the fact that it's just the ones actually working for Marvel Studios and not the third-party contractors that they use, but it is a start in Disney Pictures. Apparently, the VFX staffers also recently moved to unionize, so VFX artists are starting to unionize. That's my fact of the week.
Wow. I wonder how long they're gonna. Oh, well, they're not on strike or anything, are they?
No, they just joined the union.
Join the union. Wow, interesting.
I guess the next step would be to negotiate better contracts, and if that doesn't work, then maybe they strike.
Then they strike.
Right now, it probably doesn't make much of a difference if they strike or not, right? Because, I don't know. Marvel Studios specifically, right? They make movies, which need writers and actors, which also currently happen to be striking, so...
Hey, if you really want to look into the future, all this shit's going to be AI anyway. All they need is just a picture of a person, and it's all good.
See, that's what they're striking against.
Yeah, but isn't that the future? Hey, literally, there are websites where you ChatGPT. You could go in there and do not even that, but I've seen websites where you could say, "Make me a 10-second clip of a pig flying and then jumping into a swimming pool," and literally it renders it up and takes about 5-10 minutes, and there you go. It's like, damn, dude, no writer, no artist, no editor, just AI. It's taking a lot of people's jobs, dude.
I don't doubt that it's coming at some point. I don't think that what we currently have is capable of making a movie, right? Like, shorter clips are about as good as it gets, even those have mixed results. But obviously the technology is developing and it could come to a point where they can do that. But that is, I think, part of why...
Listen, I promise you, if they have the capability, they are literally AI rappers right now that some are on the top 50 billboards. Don't exist. They when they do shows, they usually have like a cartoon person in the background doing it. But there are literally AI rappers in the United States that don't exist, didn't write a lyric, didn't go into a studio, didn't speak into a microphone, didn't edit, didn't mix, didn't master, and it's on the top 100 Billboard. So if they can do that with music, I'm sure eventually it's going to get to the point where they can do that with video.
Yes, video is obviously more complicated because it has not just sound, but also the visual components. And the big problem with video generation, from what I've seen right now with AI, is that it has a lot of trouble staying on model for they'll have a short scene, and then if you try to extend it, all of a sudden the characters will look slightly different and stuff like that. So there's
it's like their faces start to distort. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and
so there are still a lot of things to work out. I'm sure that at some point you'll be able to do it, but then there's always the question, right? With movies in particular, it's always seen as a sort of, at least for some movies, it's a sort of prestige format where, if you can put that little extra 10% in there, it might still be worth it to make it with humans. For at least the Oscar bait type of stuff, maybe your sort of Marvel movies, or those sort of fairly formulaic, action blockbuster type movies. Maybe not, but I think those might be more easier to make in some ways. But if you want to do your, Oscar worthy blah blah blah, which is all about money anyways at the end of the day. But
dude, I'm telling you, I see a future to where I hope he doesn't pass anytime soon. I'm going to what if I say this, but let's say Morgan Freeman. And man, Morgan Freeman would be the best actor in this movie. Well, he's got all these other movies. We can take his voice from all those movies. We can take his facial expressions from all those movies. And I really believe if they really wanted to, hey, we can make Morgan Freeman in this movie if you want. We have literally years and years and years of him speaking. I see it happening, dude. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
I could see that happen, but again, right, that's why right now where you can't do that, they're trying to already put it into their contracts that it can't be done, right?
You can't use Now,
obviously, then new studios can come about that are not bound by those contracts, and also those contracts run out at some point, so this is not safeguarding it forever, but we'll see. It's kind of weird because, as people have pointed out, right, these were not the jobs that wanted to get automated away. Right? It's why don't we just automate the stuff that no one wants to do rather than, the artsy jobs?
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, dude. I joke with Smokey all the time. It's like, dude, we're good. The world is fine. We don't need to invent no new. We are fine. Let's just stay where we are as a world. We are good. We don't need nothing else. We're good.
Let's move on to the halftime show.
Yeah. Let's move on. What you got?
We're doing Hurdle.
Okay.
It's a Hurdle but with music. Do we want to do the decades ones again, or do we want to try to go for? Didn't we have genres somewhere?
I like the decades again.
We'll do decades. Let's start in the 60s. No, I don't know my 50s that well.
I was hoping to start at 90s hip hop, but go ahead.
We'll get there eventually.
No clue.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
No clue.
Or the same.
I'm not gonna get this. I'm not getting enough. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep going. Huh. Let's skip one more time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still don't know it, but at least it now sounds like something one could recognize.
Right. Damn it, dude. You're gonna have to keep skipping because I am lost. I don't know anything on this.
Well, this is the whole clip. If we can't get it with this, we'll...
Right.
Well.
Let's see. I have no idea, JJ. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this either.
I can't even give you something. Who is it?
It was Floyd Kramer with Last Date.
I've never even heard of that dude.
Yeah, me neither. Let's move on. Closer to the present, it's the 70s.
Okay. Oh, that's hard though. Skip that. Let's see what that sounded hard, bro. Ooh. I don't know what it is, but I'm liking this beat. Keep going.
I'm trying to decide if it sounds familiar or not. And weirdly enough, I can't.
I like the way it sounds. Like this is something I would sample. Yeah, that's just a loop. We're gonna need more than that. Girls. Damn, the name of the song is "Girls, Girls, Girls." I know, and it's actually Jay-Z. Actually, if you type in "Girls, Girls, Girls," I can tell you exactly who sang this.
I mean, yes, once I type it in, obviously I can tell you too. I can't come up with an right offhand either.
Hold on.
Hollywood, listen to the movies.
I know the song, I just can't tell you. Yeah, that's it. I just can't tell you.
Yeah. Big splendor. I mean, it is Girls, Girls, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it's Sailor.
Yeah, Sailor, that's right. Yep.
See, I'm sure if I knew it or not, right until he started singing, I'm like, obviously I know this, yes.
yeah, of course, we both knew it. And I that beat is fire. I might sample that, dude.
Well, let's move on to the 80s.
Let's see.
Well, that's a whole lot of nothing. I'm assuming you don't have anything yet?
Nothing. Oh, shit. Give me one more skip. Damn, I thought I knew what it was until I heard the damn. Are you getting anything?
Not from that, no. I guess we'll have to skip again.
Keep going. It's just gonna be a loop. Skip it again.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm lost. I have no idea.
Well, it was Gloria Estefan
it?
and Miami Sound Machine with Anything for You.
Wow. Okay, let's do one more decade.
Well, let's do the 90s then. That's what you wanted after all.
Hey, hold on. Can I opt out of the 90s and we go to the 2000s?
You want to totally go past the 90s, or just go straight to 2000s?
Yeah, let's do 2000s. Let's do 2000s. Let's go. Just because I want to get one at least, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, nothing. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh my god, I know it. It's damn. Alright. Just play that one more time again. Just play it. Oh my god, skip it. I know it. Who sings that? Jesus, who sings it? You know it, right?
I don't know it yet, no.
God, I know it. Skip it again. God, I know it.
Sounds familiar.
Dude, one more skip. I know it. You know it. I know you know it. It's Norah Jones. Type in Norah Jones. Norah Jones.
Norah Jones, you said? Norah Jones.
Yeah, Norah.
We got Don't Know Why, Sunrise, or Thinking About You.
I'm gonna go with Don't Know Why. It's definitely Norah Jones, and I'm thinking it's Don't Know Why.
It was indeed.
I thought so. Damn, I want to do one more from the 2000s.
Well,
or do you want to do 2010s?
We can do 10s or 90s.
You pick. We gotta.
Well,
go ahead.
Oh god, you know what? Let's go 10s.
Hell, keep skipping. Did that sound familiar to you?
No.
No, me neither. I'm not gonna get this. I'm not gonna get it.
You say what if I heard?
Oh god, it's country. I definitely don't know country. Give me a skip. I'm from the South. Come on. Let's see if I can use my Southern roots.
You say what if I hurt you? What if I leave you? What if I find some...
Give me one more skip. God,
well, I was gonna say, he says what if a lot, which makes me question. There is What Ifs by Kane Brown, featuring Lauren Elena. There is... It's the only one with What If in the title.
All right, so we know it's not Fifth Harmony. We know it's not One Direction. We know it's not Florence and the Machine.
Well, I mean, none of those titles even sound like What If at all, right? Like, it just happens to have the same letters in it. Like, it's somewhere in there.
All right.
So, if it is
Let's
something
skip
about
one
What
more
Ifs, it's that one, probably. But we can also skip and just listen to it a bit
Yeah,
more.
let's get one more skip. That's actually it. It's Kane Brown. Play it. I know it. It's Kane Brown.
You say, what if I hurt you? What if I leave you? What if I find somebody else and I don't need you? What if this goes south?
I can say that I know Kane Brown is a country singer, so out of those lists, I'm gonna go with that.
All right, I already said What Ifs by Kane Brown.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the one.
I know Kane. That's it.
See,
Sweet.
that's one that I could get just from listening to the lyrics, seeing a pattern, and just trying for a pattern. Occasionally that works.
Yeah, I get that. All right, what you got? Well, let's moving on. What you got?
Well, last but not least, I just realized I closed it, but I can definitely pull that up again. We have Will You Press the Button? The conceit being, it's not a would you rather, it's would you this and that. Usually an upside and a downside. They also redesigned a little bit what the website looks like, which I just now noticed. But hey, there it is. You live forever, but you can never leave the city you were born in.
I would not push the button.
I don't think I would either. I mean, first of all, I don't even live in the city I was born in, technically. And second of all, living forever already has some potential downsides.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Add to that some explicit downsides, and it's like, okay. You retire today, and you live on a sprawling beach estate on a tropical island, but it rains every other day.
I will push that button.
I mean, I get to retire today, live on a sprawling beach estate, and the weather is better? Okay, no, it's not that bad, but...
I'll push it. And it's not every day, it's every other day.
Yeah, right? It's
I'll push that button.
Like, I'm not much of an outside beach person anyways, right? Like...
Yeah. But you're living in that nice estate.
Exactly, right? You get free television as large as you'd like. You must watch each episode of The Good Wife as it airs. I'm pretty sure that show's done airing. You pay the cost of the TV each time you miss an episode. I see, okay.
Wait a minute. You get a free television as large as you like. But read the other one, I can't read it.
You must watch each episode of The Good Wife as it airs. You pay the cost of the TV each time you miss an episode. I mean, I guess the question is, does it count syndication or not? Right? Because it'll probably air in syndication somewhere at any given point in time, but if it's just the first time the episode airs, like, that show is done. I'm pretty sure that show was done like 5 years ago. Right? Like,
again, JJ, you're looking too much into it, bro. That's what you do, dude. You dissect it way too much. Just go with the question. I'm going to say the majority of the people will say, I will not push the button. You pushing it? Or you?
I mean, I guess if we assume that it's a currently airing show, which it isn't, but then obviously
Lord have mercy.
Then obviously the risk of missing an episode and having to pay for the TV anyways is probably too big, even if you try to set out to watch it.
Yeah. I thought so. Let me ask you this. If you did do that, what size TV would you take? How big would the TV be that you would like?
I mean, I would probably just go for like 32 inches or something. Because realistically...
as large as you like?
I mean, yeah, but where are you gonna put it?
Shit, I got a big ass wall down there. Give me a 210 freaking...
Plus, you don't want to sit in front of a TV and have to, like, do this thing the whole time just to see what's going on.
Well, that's why you pull further back. Okay, maybe not 210. Give me 110. Okay, give me 110. I'd be fine with that.
I mean, I guess I could maybe go up to, like, 50 or something, but, like, 32 is, like, a pretty, like, decent size for a TV if you're, like, not too far away from it.
Yeah, but you get any size you like. Why would you go for your standard size? I mean, I've got two monitors, and both of these are bigger than 32 inches. Like,
I got 24 and 32, and 32 is my TV, and it's also like, I don't know, like, what is that, like 6 feet away from me or something?
Man, hell no, dude. I'm going big. All right, what we got next? What we got?
You gain the powers of a god, but you are still mortal and people will try to kill you and gain your god powers.
Well, if I have the powers of God, then I can technically just kill them.
I mean, I was gonna say, right, like, what does the powers of a god mean, right? Because if we're talking something like the Abrahamic God, it's like, oh yeah, all-powerful, but you're still mortal. It's like, snaps finger, no I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good... that is a good one. But, you gain the powers of God, but you're still
the problem is it says a god and I don't know which one, right? Like...
Yeah. Okay, well, see, if we're talking about the god, like the number one, then, I mean, you couldn't kill me anyway because I would just kill you before you killed me. I don't know. This is a tough one. You gain the... I'd push the button. Hell. Yeah, push it.
I mean, I suppose I would, but again, right, like, the wording of the question is still a little... It's about 2/3 I pushed 100%. It. Let's do like 2 more and then call it a day.
Yeah, got some things to take care of.
Your true dream is fulfilled, whatever that means, but Tiny Tim personally sings an extended version of Tiptoe to you. I don't know what this is.
Please just move on to the next question. Let's do 2 other ones, yeah. Let's see, what else you got?
You will be the most powerful person in the universe and even more powerful than Goku, which is a random Dragon Ball reference to pull out.
Dang.
But you will be the ugliest person ever lived and you will never get a partner in your life.
I will not push that button.
Yeah, me neither.
I will not push it.
Like, there's been some ugly people, okay?
That still get exactly, yeah, of course. And I'd be willing to bet that 32% of the people who did push that button are under the ages of 21. Guaranteed. All right, what we got?
Your salary is multiplied by 5, but you compulsively have to buy something expensive each month.
Well, we don't know. The word expensive is kind of broad. Like, what is expensive? Are we talking $1,000? Talking $2,000? And if it's my salary multiplied by 5, then I definitely push that button.
Right. I mean, that is kind of the question that you're asking, right? Like, is the expensive thing you buy going to cost more than 4 times your salary? Because if yes, then no. If no, then yes. That sounded weird. But yeah.
Right.
Basically, I will press the button if I end up with more money after all of this is worked out.
Exactly.
And I won't press it if it's not, right? Like, that's...
Right. So, yeah, because we don't have enough information here, but just going off of what we're looking at, I think more people are going to say they push this button.
Oh, wait, I think I found, I think I found the loophole.
Oh, God. Here we go. This is him. Go ahead.
It just says you have to buy it. It doesn't say what you have to do with it. You can just resell it.
God dang it, I always criticize you about freaking overthinking shit, but you fucking pulled one off this time. You fucking pulled one off this time, damn it. God dang it. But people aren't thinking like that. They're going to push the button, yeah.
73%, let's see. I think $5 is expensive. Okay, that is the other cop-out.
Exactly. 5 times 0 equals 0.
Just
there you
go.
Just sell what you buy. Yeah. Just put it on freaking Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace.
Which is probably the perfect place to sell expensive things.
Yes, dude. And yes, 100%. Man, this was a fun one, JJ. I always enjoy coming on here hanging out with you, dude. Always, man.
Well, there's one more thing to do before we get out of here. And you will need to inform me what your song of the week is.
This is one, again, shout out to all the trash talkers, all of our subscribers out there, because this is a song that was put on through, I want to say this came from one of our Patreon members, and I can't remember the Patreon member, but you know who you are if you happen to be watching this. But this is Arctic Monkeys, and I've never heard of them, never knew anything about them, and the name of the song is Do I Want to Know. But when I heard this song, instantly went on my playlist. That is so hard. Bro, did you know this song?
I think I've heard it before, but it never has really specifically been at my attention.
Dude, I jammed this.
And I must say, it's actually pretty good. I think I like it.
I finally got one!
Yeah!
I finally got one! Yes!
You managed to find a song that I can appreciate, yeah.
Dude, that song's hard, man. Will you make me one promise? Can you give me one promise?
And what would that be?
When we're done with this, I don't know if you have to edit or what. Just listen to this song. Just please do this for me. Just listen to it just one way through. Don't stop it. Just listen to it and just enjoy it. That's that. Can you promise me that? Will you make that promise to me?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say about this? Yeah, I mean, you already said quite a bit, so...
No. Let's see what you got.
My song of the week...
Sabotage. Let me guess. Let me guess the artist first.
Okay.
Let me see. All right. Is it American?
I don't know where the band was formed, actually.
Okay. All right.
I can look it up.
Okay.
That I should have expected that. Sometimes when you type something into Wikipedia, it's
yeah, and stuff that. Oh, damn! That kind of gives me a clue.
Yes. They are in fact American.
Okay. What are we talking? 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2000. What decade?
Well, 70s onward. Although I think most of the music probably came out in the 70s, 80s, and maybe 90s.
Okay. Genre? Can I get a genre?
Sure. Hard rock, heavy metal, shock rock, and glam metal are the listed genres.
This is gonna be like some Maiden or some glam. This might be some Kiss. It's gonna be like, all right, so it's gonna be like some Iron Maiden, it's gonna be like some Black Sabbath, it's gonna be like some Kiss, it's gonna be maybe even fuck, it might even that might be shot. All right, let me give you one more guess. I just want to see if I get anywhere of those. So I'm gonna also go with shock. Damn. Fuck, I don't know. Let's see.
My song of the week is Heaven's on Fire by Kiss.
No! I caught it! Okay. Dude, what's crazy is I got it. I knew it was Kiss. I mean, you got freaking Gene Simmons behind you, dude.
So, it turns out, when you put Kiss into Wikipedia, the first thing that comes up is not the band.
Of course.
Which I guess I should have seen coming.
Do you know the meaning of why their S's look like that? Do you know why that is?
I don't know why they do look like that. I know why they don't look like that in Germany. Or they didn't for a while, at least.
That has a lot to do with it, I'll just say that.
I mean, do they have a specific reason for why they use those?
It has a lot to do with you were talking about. Shock, rock, and it does have a lot to do with that. Trust me.
I mean, so, by the way, the reason why I wasn't exactly sure where they were from is because I was pretty certain, and I looked it up and it's true, Gene Simmons was born in Israel, right? So, I was like, I don't know where Kiss is from.
I mean, they got Detroit City Rock or Detroit Rock City, something like that. Like,
yeah, Detroit Rock City is a song of theirs, but their origin, according to Wikipedia, is in New York City.
Wow, maybe that's where the record label was from. I'll say, dude, since we started doing Rappers React, dude, I'll say, dude, I Was Made for Loving You is one of my favorite songs we've discovered from period. I can't even just say from Kiss. Like, that's just legitimately a dope song. I mean, and this one sounded pretty cool too.
I mean, I would say that I Was Made for Loving You might well be a top 5 Kiss song.
Dude, it's that song's dope, dude. I would say
that the best Kiss song, I mean, Heavens on Fire is pretty good. I Pledge Allegiance instead of Rock and Roll is pretty good. Crazy Nights is really good. I think it's Crazy Nights. I think the album is just called Crazy Nights, something like that. It's They have a lot of good songs.
What would you say Kiss's biggest song is?
I mean, their most well-known one is definitely I Was Made for Loving You, I would say.
That's one of the greatest songs.
Either that or
Dude,
Crazy Nights was also pretty big, but I think I Was Made for Loving You is probably the most famous
What
one.
about Detroit? Detroit City Rock, was that not big? Or Detroit Rock City? Was that not one of the big ones?
It never registered for me as a big one back in the day, but I mean, then again, my knowledge of what is big is also like a little bit like, it's like whatever like was still played on the radio like in the 2000s, right? So there might have been a bit skewed there as well. But yeah, I would say the best one's probably Crazy Nights, followed by A Pleasure Seasons instead of Rock and Roll, then Heaven's on Fire, and then either I Was Meant for Loving You or Sure Know Something. Probably those are probably the top 5 Kiss songs for me.
Dude, when we first did Kiss on the channel, you know, I'm like, all I know about them is Gene Simmons, but turns out Gene really didn't do. I thought Gene Simmons was the lead singer. He's not. It was Paul, right?
Oh God, I don't know.
Gene Simmons was not, and actually Gene Simmons hated when they made I Was Made for Loving You, because he wasn't ready for he didn't like the whole disco vibe. It was Paul, right? Paul Stanley, I think it was.
Paul Stanley, lead singer and backing vocals, rhythm and lead guitar. Yeah. Gene Simmons, lead and backing vocals, bass guitar. So they actually both did lead vocals on at least some songs.
Yeah, but Paul was the majority lead singer. I just want to say he sounds super gay when it's a joke, but he sounded super gay on that I Was Made for Loving You. At the beginning, he says, yeah. Like that, like, bro, come on, what you doing, dude?
That's pretty normal for, like, I feel like that, like, there was a lot of rock music where, like, you had that sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
I like,
I love it.
What's the song I'm thinking of? Ballroom Blitz also, like, has a very similar, like, thing in the beginning.
Why do I know? Why does that sound familiar? Ballroom Blitz.
It was pretty big.
Wait, we did that song recently. That was Kiss? No,
that wasn't.
That's not Kiss.
It was Sweet. The Sweet, technically.
Sweet. Yes.
No, but
we just did that.
I was saying, like, there's a lot of music from the 70s, and I think maybe 80s too, where, like, they had that sort of, like, high-pitched sort of, like, shenanigans going on in the beginning.
Come on, do it one time for me. Do it one time. Yeah! Come on, one time. Give it to me.
No.
Oh. I tried, y'all. I tried. But no, dude, you made a promise to me that you're going to check out Arctic Monkeys. Check that out, please. Listen to it all the way through. And if you like, I'll check out Heaven's on Fire. If you like.
Well, I guess if you want me to do that, I guess I should maybe end this episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. If you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, if you have something to say, leave a comment or join us because of links in the description below. Hollywood.
That's it.
That's it.